Hello, 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 hello. I'm just waiting for some confirmation from you guys saying, hey, indeed the volume is fine. You can indeed hear me. Please do confirm as quickly as possible. Yeah, my audio video seems to be working audible now. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Maybe it's good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Some lovely. Good evening to all of you. Good evening to Abhishek, future 100 percentiler, Chirag Jain, Shashank Sinha, Naveen Balaji, all of you. Tanmay, let's go indeed. And I'm getting used with the parlor. I'm going to break this into three parts. One is a prepared presentation, which I'm going to run rapidly through. Quite a few things we've already covered in other videos. Then a bunch of questions that we've got from students who've all submitted these questions and said, look, we want to take them seriously. So we will do that really quickly. And then we will then go on to questions on comments. Okay. Good evening to all of you. Those of you who are sports fans, Indian cricket fans, have been a depressing few days for us. Unfortunate. We'll live. We've seen, I don't know about you guys. I can tell you that I have seen far worse things. Indian cricket team. This is probably a better version. Right? So I'm not overly worried. We've seen worse. But it's depressing. When it happens, it's properly depressing. Not at all happy. I want to see whether we can track this up. Yeah, that works. This works. Lovely. I've done window capture, so that works. Lovely. I'm going to check this on YouTube's real live screen. Yeah, lovely. And indeed, getting to learn this streaming software part a little bit better. To see all of you. Good evening. Bengaluru says hi. I'm so glad the entire city is turned up for us. Hi indeed to all of you. Good evening, Prabhu Krishna. Good evening, Nishikant. Tanmay, of course, I remember you. We had a good conversation on CAT preparation. Shouldn't say, of course, I remember you, but I remember your memory is actually pretty poor, especially when it comes to faces and names. I think apparently it's a condition people have it. So I'm going to lay it on that it's a medical condition, not just me. But my memory for ideas and concepts is pretty good, very happy. But my memory for faces and names is abysmal. So if you see me looking at you years from now and not being able to place me, it's a medical condition. And I'm not, we need to all be very considerate of that. Lovely, lovely. Let's do this. Let's go to cracking cat in 125 days. 125 days is a pretty good time, and we're reminded of this wonderful dialogue from Dangal. 2 मिनट है लेकिन देखा जाए तो 120 सेकंड अच्छा 4 months में देखा जाए तो 120 दिन है दिस इज 4 months and then some तो 125 दिन है तो काफी टाइम है अच्छा जैसा enough time to put your head down and prepare really well and you can squeeze out 4 hours per day that's huge and it's huge absolutely huge and over 4 months can you squeeze out 4 hours per day most definitely yeah. So prepare prudently, but there is enough time. 125 days is a lot. Right? Take stock. There'll be different strategies for folks who are just starting, folks who are midway but inconsistent, those who are already consistent. If you're already consistent, you'll anchor heavily around mocks and have a schedule for mocks on a weekly basis. Take stock. Jump onto a mock-based preparation schedule as quickly as possible. Just starting, prepare something that is relevant and tailored for you. Don't prepare like somebody who's been preparing from Jan. So you'll have to pick and choose your battles. Make sure that you still spend time on fundamentals, spend time on basics. I find too many people trying to run to the finish and then finding themselves in between rock and a hard place because if your fundas are not good, then you can't get any marks. Just wanting to finish a lot of topics is not good enough. And so the way you should pick and choose your battles is not to scramble very fast, but to narrow down your list of topics and then double down to gain some deep understanding on this. So I would want you to say, look, there are 27 topics in Quant. I can't do 27. I'm going to focus on 14 simple ones. I'll be the king or queen of that. And that should be our plan. And DLR and verbal have no syllabus, so we can pretty much cover everything. Midway and inconsistent, we're going to focus on that a little while later. DILR and verbal have no syllabus, so for verbal, keep reading, nothing else. For DILR, previous year questions, a very powerful anchor. Want to start with arithmetic, then go to algebra, then go to geometry or number systems. We've covered all of this in several videos, so I'm not going to go down deep into this. We're doing this really quickly so that we have more time to answer questions. I'll probably come back to this if some of these questions need reinforcing, in which case we'll come back to this and have a crack. But otherwise, I'm just using this as a template to set the stage, not temple to set the stage. So we're not yet at the stage where it's only prayer. We still think there's actionable ideas. Right? So in weekly template, you have to give some time for learning and reinforcing Mondays, some time for speed building, lots of practice, and at least 1 or 2 days of mock analysis. Apart from this, you should do read every day and solve at least one LRDI set every day. I think at least one that you set the ball rolling. Quite probably need to. Mocks is the big deal. If you do nothing else, take mocks. If you can take 20 mocks and analyze them well, you'll have a good shot at this. Right? And both Chatin and I never ever tire of saying this. One of our favorite points. Mock analysis is more than mock score. I see several students doing a detailed analysis on their percentiles. Right? Observe. Do a detailed analysis on what your gaps are. Percentiles are plucked from the air. I know the moment we finish, we want to see kitna aaya, number kya hai, what is our percentile. Take lo ek baar, check that out, and then kick it out. Don't. That's not the real deal. And to analyze the mock from learning objectives and strategy objectives, and not from scoring and marks objectives. Don't worry about syllabus. Don't skip verbal completely, saying there's lots of syllabus to cover in Quant. We feel like when we are solving something, we're doing something, but when we're reading, there isn't much that is being done. Right? Sometimes we all have what is called as an action bias. I have it very strongly. Somebody says something is going wrong, and I have a strategy that says, be calm, these things happen. Another week and 10 days, some other variable changes, this will change. Another option that says, go do this, and then we'll see how it goes. I'll go towards the doing something option. I have an action bias. Right? So sometimes it pays off, but sometimes it's just working myself up in my mind. Wife frequently points out that you're working yourself up for no reason, and you feel like you're doing something you're not. You're running a lot, doing nothing. Right? So our action bias takes us towards Quant and LRDI. It feels like you're not doing much when you're just reading a passage or reading or leisure reading. And so don't have that. Don't ignore that. Right? Don't chase hacks. Build from basics. Build from fundamentals. All the time. And so, how many mocks have you attempted? How have you improved your stamina and intensity in them? How accurate are you? And you have a sense of where your errors could be, what your strengths and weaknesses are. And to track these. And to by type track LRDI. And so RC track time taken per passage, not to improve your reading speed, but to get a sense of, hey, where am I? How long does it take for me to have a passage? And so don't chase reading speed. Doesn't pay off. It's usually counterproductive. Right? Focus on inputs, not panic about the results. This is what all coaches say, all life coaches say, all gyanis say, all gurus say. Apna kaam karo, results could aa jayenge. And so do the things that matter. Be driven by the process. And how many times have we heard that sentence? But it really makes sense. Right? Focus on how much time you spend reading, how many questions you solve, how many puzzles you solve, how many RC passages you complete, how many mocks you complete. Don't focus on reading speed, on percentiles in the last 4 tests. And don't, for the love of God, think about agar mere 98.4 aayenge, will I still not get a call from IIM Indo? You may not. And so this is beautiful funda. And so there's this wonderful thing. We have space here, so we'll do this. And so this is one big set of things that matter, that affect your chances for in CAT. Big set. Within that is one set of variables that you that were under your control. This set of variables that are under your control. So focus on this. The prevailing number of seats, the number of diversity quota, how many engineers can be there, how many lawyers can be there, not your concern. Your class 10, class 12 marks, your UG score, not your concern. Your CAT preparation, absolutely your concern. The things that govern your score, things that you were, that could have been controlled by you, things that are still available for you to control. And so focus all your energies on things that are still available for you to control. Variables that are there, how many seats are there, how good CAT can be, how relevant is this exam, देश में क्या हो रहा है, MBA का क्या prospect है, what are the salaries of the guy who's 75th in IIM Trichy or 375th in IIM Udaipur, उनको भी क्या नौकरी मिल रही है, if the Indian economy becomes a $5 trillion economy, what can happen? Will Israel continue to bomb Gaza? All of these are factors that govern our future. We have nothing to do about them, nothing that we can really do to influence them. Shut them up. Your 10th standard mark, your 12th standard mark, your gap year, your undergraduation score, the fact that there is a paper you flunked in even though you knew everything because your university has a crappy system. The fact that in your board, you had to actually focus on 5 out of 6 subjects, but CAT wants the average percentage for all 6 subjects. The fact that your percentage is 89.6 and it seems so cruel. All those are factors that you could have governed. Gone. The past is prologue. Forget about it. Your CAT score, if you're working now, your work experience, your profile, if you're a student now, your CGPA in semester 7 and semester 8. Those are all variables that are still up for grabs. So spend all your time obsessing about those. You get into snarky discussions online about how the system is rigged for engineers against engineers, for males against males, or for general category against general category. All of these, I'm not even denying their factors. A great many of them are indeed factors. And we could sit here and have a lovely debate and discussion about them till the cows come home. And one of these days, I'll probably sit down and have a discussion with that. Because I have lots of strong opinions on several of these factors. But hey, this is not the time or forum for that. You focus on what you can control. The more you can shut yourself off from what you cannot control, the better off you will be. So keep that in mind. Discipline beats motivation. This is super important, and you can have an inspired minute. You can have an inspired hour. You cannot have an inspired 125 days. Right? So don't box yourself into a corner where you need inspiration. And discipline is the ballgame. I'm not good at this stuff, but I'm sitting here. I don't take the exam seriously, so I can give exam. I'm also trying to become more disciplined. It's been a lifelong journey, as I'm sure it will be for several of you. But don't be reliant on somebody to motivate you. You'll pick at the right one. You will, and have faith, and faith shall be given to you. So fake it till you make it. So till the moment you go and have belief, keep telling yourself, all is well, ho jayega. Show up every day after day, time after time after time, minute after minute, mock after mock. You get beaten up, you put more fight the next day. You do really well, don't get complacent. You're in a middling score, inspire yourself to start the next day. And turn up and turn up and turn up and turn up. You go. And trust the process. Definitely trust the process. It helps. Lovely. I'm going to leave this and then go to the wonderful presentation that Abhishek Das put together for student queries. And before that, I'm going to just pop onto YouTube to see if there is some interesting shows. Okay. A bunch of questions, guys. Wait. I'm going to have lots of time to answer questions. I'm going to spend at least 25 minutes answering questions. And so I'm not going to run away from here. At least 25 minutes answering questions, I'll be here. Right? I'm not going to answer questions on variables that we cannot control. I'm not going to say कि I am indoor का क्या criteria है. If I have 90 in 10 standard, 74 in 12 standard, and 6.2 in CAT, what should I be doing now? Prepare really well. What are my chances? God knows. Analyzing your chances, are they going to improve them? No. So do it when you have lots of free time, but otherwise, I mean, do it for 10 minutes, shelve it, focus on preparation. I know it looks like I'm ducking out of that question, and indeed I am ducking out of that question, because there is no correct answer for that question. And so you can might as well forget about that question and focus on what you can do. This is old quote about war. I've been meaning to. I read it somewhere or somebody told this to me. So should fight battles or wars. This is for war. Very seriously, should fight war that satisfy two conditions. So wars that matter, wars that you can win. Battles that matter, battles that you can win. And somebody, any one of you can find the quote, who made this quote and how. I would love to know the original. I heard this from somewhere, and I've been trying to find where exactly, what is the original source of that, and I've not managed it. Hence, the quote is, you should fight battles that count and battles that you can win. Both should be pick. Doesn't work, then we can shouldn't be fighting the battle. And if nobody gives me the correct source of that quote, I'm claiming it. As of today, I'll say I created this quote. Anyway, I'm going to jump to questions. Let's do this. How to study? I have many resources from videos to practice, test to test, and how do I know how to approach and study in a systematic way? And so it's very interesting. How to study? Study from a good structured source. I know several of you are 2IM students, but if you're not, then the 2IM self-paced course is a rather beautiful place to study from. And so let me just make sure that I can open up the self-paced course. Very kind and considerate fashion. Abhishek has given me a chance, a template to work with. And so that's a self-paced course, an absolutely delightful course. Why I like it? I'm not saying you should pick this course, but I'm just going to outline this. And from this quantitative ability, data interpretation, job ability, content-wise. And then there is test to build speed, and then you go to mocks. And so you must prepare in structured fashion. Right now is not the time to prepare from 7 different sources, and you don't have the time. There is a time for exploration, there's a time for action. And if you have to explore, then take 3 days off, explore what are all the options available, create a basket of entities, put them down and start. You can't keep on exploring and finding better and better sources and wasting time on that. By the time you have found the best sources, exam hi khatam ho gaya. You cannot afford to do that. And you have to find one source that feels instinctively right to you, double down on that, prepare with that framework very intensely. And so if you keep on thinking, yeah, I've taken the 2IM Quant course, they're very useful, super. But for practice, I'll find something else. For mock, I'll find something else. For this topic, I'll go to YouTube. For that one, I'll go to Wikipedia. For this one, I'll go to some other math website. You keep doing that. Sooner or later, you're going to feel like a headless chicken. You're just going lots of places erratically. Right? So, those of you, if you've not started, then you should definitely check out the 2IM self-paced course. Why I'm such a big fan of this course is, if you click on, say, quantitative aptitude, and the entire syllabus, entire structure, and percentages 1 and 2, profit and loss 1 and 2, simple interest, compound interest 1 and 2, ratios 1 and 2, averages, mixtures 1 and 2, all the way to trigonometry, mensuration, coordinate geometry, everything is available on a platter. Absolutely on a platter. You can navigate from any one thing to anything else in a second. All part 1s are straightforward, all part 2s are CAT level or higher. It's on a platter. So those of you who are starting now and say, look, I want to figure out one place to take value from, then this is probably it. You probably have to say, hey, I'm going to check this out. I'm going to see and learn from some template that is useful for you. Right? So there's one structured way of delivering and learning content. on a platter at a
Cost price
stranger.
of two goods are the ratio 5:6.
Lovely. I'm going to stop this and go back to the questions part and coming to the structured part. Some reason it does not work. Let me just check that. Yep, we're back to this. Lovely. Lovely, super. I see that my face is taking up some space. I'm going to reduce that. Yep, I'm going to go put myself in more of a corner so that we can go through this. I started my CAT preparation 2 months ago. What would be the deciding factor that I could compete with somebody who started preparing before me? First of all, ignore the presence of somebody who started preparing before you. And so, if you start doing this analysis saying, मैं 4 महीने पढ़ने वाला हूँ, कोई और 12 महीने से पढ़ रहा है, how can I ever catch up with them? There is no catching up. I know it's a cliche, but you need to figure out the best version of yourself that can go and have this exam, have a crack at this exam. So forget about the presence of graduates who have had more time than you to prepare for this exam. You find the best strategy for yourself. Do not sacrifice basics in a quest for speed. Take lots of marks. Pick and choose chunks that you can drop. If you're scrambling for time, limit your syllabus. Right? And then prepare in the best way that will suit you. After you take 6-7 marks, you'll get a sense of, okay, I don't think I can get 125 marks. I think I have a good chance of reaching 75 if I prepare well. And my 75 is going to come as half the marks are going to come in verbal. I know I got verbal. 37, 38, I'll get in verbal. On my day, I can get 45. 37, 38 in verbal, 15 to 20 in LRDI, 15 to 28 in Quant. That's my route to getting 75. If everything goes well, 85. Right? So for verbal, I'll keep reading, I'm comfortable. For Quant, I'll focus on arithmetic and algebra, nothing else. LRDI, I'll ignore a bunch of styles, I'll do only focused puzzles. I need to get 2 puzzles, that's it. And work towards executing that strategy. I have a mechanism for, I think I'm headed towards 75, broken as 37, 15, 20. And then work towards that. If you have a credible plan and you work towards that, there's a good chance that you can do better than the guy who's been preparing for 15 months but is muddled. 2025 graduate here, I didn't get PPO after internship. I don't have a full-time job now. How should I go about my job preparation for CAT 2025? Oh, if you don't have a full-time job now, dive down. Prepare for 5-6 hours a day. Nobody can prepare for 16 hours a day, not every day. But 5-6 घंटे हो ही सकते हैं. And so I would, if it were me, I've had a full open canvas. I'm a morning person, and I'm not a person that can study continuously. If I do 6 hours in a row, my 6th hour will be, I get burnt out. Which I think is also a big strength because when I'm studying, I'm all in, super intense. I won't know. I can go deep into something that people actually are surprised that they speak to me and I don't hear. Unless they know me, they can even think it is being rude. I'm not being rude. I'm just caught up in the content. I would strongly advise that you create or figure out a deep mode for yourself. My suggestion, my preference would be, I start up the day by 6:30 to 8:39. I jump in before I have my breakfast and go into my schedules and all that, and then 2.5 hours. Right? I honestly don't even need to grab a shower or something. I can get switched on in 2 minutes. I will do something, I wake up, and I can do that thing. Right? So very lucky that way. But if you're someone who needs to just clean up and freshen up and grab a coffee, do all that for 10 minutes, and then you jump in. Then do your chores, do some exercise, move around, and come back and do another couple of hours, maybe 11:30 to 1:30. Grab a nap, switch off, do some quiet leisure reading, walk, exercise, and then do a test type of thing from 5 to 7, where you're taking either a mock or a bunch of tests that you analyze later on. End the day with some leisure reading after doing an LRDI puzzle. So you're doing 3 sets of 2 hours of intensity, enough. उससे ज़्यादा तो हो ही नहीं सकता. Start early, end early. Be rested, you'll have a crack at it. That would be my kind of rhythm for somebody who's preparing full time. Right? So some framework. Some people can manage 10 hours, but not that intensely. Some people can manage 10 hours with intensity. So figure out where you lay into them. Recently graduated, I'm now preparing for CAT 2025. I'm afraid I'll be able to crack the exam. I'm assuming you're saying I'm afraid I'll not be able to crack the exam. Right? So हर किसी को यही होता है. Nobody is super confident and assured of cracking the exam. कुछ भी guarantee नहीं है किसी का. So there is no guarantee of success in this exam. Embrace that. For a long time, I really struggled with DILR because when I'm doing LRDI, I'm built in a way where if there are three possibilities and one seems very likely, I have to eliminate the other two and then come to this. I cannot operate with something adura, right? Something not, I won't say OCD, but I cannot sacrifice rigor for speed. I cannot. Right? So if the question asks for integer solutions in Quant, I'll do real solutions and then go to checking out integer. I cannot skip. Right? And then I've tried to work on this. I've said, look, sometimes the need for speed is high, and I have to sacrifice this. So there's no certainty there. My need for certainty is holding me back. Don't have. You're taking a chance. The best case scenario for the best student is that they have a chance of clearing the exam. That's all of us are fighting for, a chance. You can deny yourself that chance or give yourself that chance, but nobody is getting anything more than a chance. Right? So don't have the need for certainty. 40 years ago it might have been there, 20 years ago it was kind of there. Now no chance, not in anything. There's a day in which cryptocurrency is making sense. Nonsense things are happening in the world. And so there is no guarantee of anything. So I have to embrace the fact that there's a bunch. I feel lost with the preparation. There's lots to cover and less time left. Limit. LRDI, there's no syllabus. Verbal, there's no syllabus. Tell yourself, my anchor points are these. 1 mark per week, no matter what the score is. 1 hour of reading per day. Whether I do anything else or not, I'm doing this. 1 LRDI puzzle per day. I'm syllabus anchored around arithmetic, then algebra, nothing else. Limit your variable. And so lots of times, I think I come from an older generation, right? So some of the habits I have, some of the habits that the youngsters in my office have, it just, oh my God, I'll break down with those. And I'll give you an example. I want to, some of you at least, to write down how many tabs you have open on your browser window, on default state or typical state. Right? So you're opening Chrome, how many tabs open up automatically? For some of you it may happen. Or if you keep them open, how many are open at a time? Right? So I think it's a generational thing. I can have 3-4 tops and then my brain starts getting frazzled. It says, look, too much stuff open, shut down a few. Sometimes it goes to 7-8 and then I'll close down 5-6 and start all over again. Right? So some of you are typing in saying 15, 20, 11 and all that. Right? So I've seen Abhishek, who pretty much runs every part of 2IIM. The one guy who knows every moving part of 2IIM. He knows our content, our features, our feedback, our online platform, online portal, everything. He'll have 30, 35 open. They're so small. I keep asking, do you even know what is there in that 11th tab? He knows that. You relax. And so he probably knows, but it messes with my mind. And so sometimes I feel that this feeling of getting overwhelmed can go away if you limit your syllabus. I started preparing from May end. After that, my college opened. I can't able to. Oh, I am unable to. I can't able to. I can't unable to. Don't write. Cannot unable to. Can't able to. Can't unable to. And it's not right. And so work on it. Work on it very aggressive. Not while speaking, not while writing. There's no can't able to. There's no can't unable to. Can able to. Can unable to. None of that. I am able to. I am unable to. I find it difficult. I find it easy. And so I find it so many places. This and since. And since, SINC, since refers to a point in time. That it's since 2018, I've not been able to do this. You cannot say since the last 4 years. for the last 4 years since 2021. Since comes with the starting reference point for time. For comes for a stretch of time. So it is never since 4 years. For 4 years or since 2020. Right? Anyway, forget about it. My percentile in mock is very low. That's all right. I'm willing to put everything into my preparation within this limited time. I doubt myself. Sometimes I feel motivated, sometimes not. Frequently it happens. My heart goes out to you. Can I do this? 100% you can do this. And your mock scores are very low. Those of you who are struggling with really poor mock scores, we've done a series of videos on how to get off the mat. And lots of times we all give gyan for how to go from 95 to 99%. Sometimes we come and tell you you can get 85 marks, and 85 marks is where the ball game is. And you all feel very inspired. But the last three mock scores are 22, 16, and 14. And 85 का तो थोड़ा relevant ही नहीं है. You'll end up putting so much pressure on yourself, it will kill you. First hurdle to cross is to get 10 to 15 marks in each section. And we have done detailed videos on how to get off the mat. You don't have to get beaten up. How to get off the mat in verbal, LRDI, and Quant. Go through them. Super useful. One of my favorite videos, because I found that a lot of times we were speaking from a position of students being at a certain level and then reaching for the stars. Whereas a great ton of students are feeling pressurized by that conversation, saying because it is not relevant to them. I'm giving gyan about how to take your quant score from 25 to 42, and you have never got 25 overall in CAT. Then it's just silly. And so that funda of how to get off the mat, how to get some marks, few marks, is super useful. Go to them. With regard to preparation strategies, I'm quite overwhelmed and not able to approach a section with the right approach to cover the portion. How to have the right plans. Limit. From an overall thing, 1 mock per week, mandatory. From a daily habit thing, 1 hour of reading, 1 LRDI, previous year question, mandatory per day. The quant is the thing that is overwhelming. In quant, focus on arithmetic, then algebra, don't do anything else. Limit your variables, limit what you can track, limit what you're going after. Simplify, and then go. How do I improve my accuracy in solving VARC questions? Read slowly. Take time in extracting value from choices. Don't rush. Don't do things in like slightly frenzy. This is beautiful meme video. I don't know. Lovely. These days I'm beginning to speak in memes. But that chai bana raha hai. And he's doing so much. And he's moving this char glasses there. He's moving and doing this. And then he's moving his hands left, right, and center. If anyone of you can locate it, please share that link. And I love that video. That is what is a frenzy. Kuch ho nahi raha hai. But you have an action bias, and it seems like we action film ban raha hai, but end output is bad. Very frequently has to happen with the I'm like, you post jaldi padna, I have to read really quickly. I've read 3 paragraphs really quickly, bro. Hawa nahi hai, kya ho raha hai? Like, I have no idea what's happening, but I've read. Matlab my eyes have moved. I've internally said out words, but funda ka kuch idea hi nahi. I have no idea what's there. And that happens very frequently. In Baba, slow down. The quickest guys are the ones who have operate within a frame of I got this. You follow sport. I've never seen footballers like Pirlo or Iniesta look like they're rushing and move very fast, very relaxed. You see Federer play, he'll glide across the court. You see Mark Waugh batting, and so it's not easy. A lot of practice goes into making it look cool. I'm not saying look cool, but you have to slow down in order to have a sense of calm about yourself. Right? So answers incorrectly, biggest driver is frequently reading too fast. Prep strategy, what to focus on, time management, when to start giving mock. When to start giving mock was 2 months ago. Fine. When should I complete syllabus? Don't complete syllabus. Don't worry about completing syllabus. Don't think about completing syllabus. Don't write down syllabus. And take 1 mock per week. Read 1 hour a day. Solve one LRDI puzzle per day. Cover arithmetic and algebra. keep going at layer after layer, type, do a lot of revision. How to get sufficient practice for quant? I've done a good number of questions from advanced practice, but still unsure on certain concepts after complete. That's okay. Always there. I'm unsure on certain concepts after completion. I take a mock, I feel like that's Gustav and Data, I didn't get it. And I've been preparing for CAT for 20 years. It's all right. Don't set a bar on perfection. Set a bar on turning up and consistency. Should I leave those concepts for later? Like how do I solve questions to gain confidence? So you take a mock, you have to find the gaps and fill them in. Is it a funda gap or is it a speed gap? The speed gap, take one more test. The funda gap, revisit theory. You were at that topic, you thought you were at an 8 out of 10. This mock is telling you you're at a 5.5 out of 10. Prepare, fill the gap, take it to 7.5 out of 10. Go to the next mock. We have to live in a world of incomplete information and uncertainty. Don't look for perfection. तो story hilega ही नहीं. Take the show forward. Post finishing DILR, past year questions of the module, what to practice on. Advanced question cover, no. Best question for LRDI, mock questions, course content questions, previous year questions. The previous year questions are brilliant. The course content questions are brilliant, probably better than previous year questions. Mock questions are brilliant. Do any LRDI only after you've finished all of this. Chances are you can't finish all of this. One more time, I'm going to have a look at the chat window just to see if things are fine. (23:8:37) Vijay Prakash Irachang, amazing football. Yeah, I've been watching football for a long time. I actually love playing football as well. Play once a week with a bunch of my older friends. But some of them are much younger than I am, but I love the sport. I watch cricket as well. I watch a lot of test cricket. And so I watch all kinds of test cricket. But football is also another weakness. Lovely. Enough of the digression. Back to these questions. Some effective revision strategy for quants. Revisit aggressively. Understand that you learned percentages in May. When you're coming back to it on August 1, one part of it will look like you have never studied it. You forget everything. The very basics will desert you. Okay. Revisit topics very aggressively, even at the cost of adding new topics. What you know, you need to know really well. What you don't know really won't hurt you. Where do you get more practice questions apart from the course module? You go to the question bank, there's a million questions. Go to previous year questions, again, brilliant. OMET questions, brilliant. Do low scores matter at this point of preparation? There's lots of time, there's 120 more days, lots of time. Don't worry about your mock scores too much. I've completed the required syllabus, but still I'm unable to score more than 50. You need to work on your breakup. Maybe have a session with one of the mentors. They'll give you help to guide through that. But if you're at 50, that's good. Yeah, typically, I would go to the extent of saying from here, if there's one of your early mocks, you can double your score. If you're 7th or 8th mock, then you can add 50, 60, 70, 80% to your score. Lots of scope to improve. Still there. And so, what to practice in each section, how to increase my QA attempts. If your accuracy is good, attempts will come. How to increase VARC accuracy. There is a video on how to select between two close choices. Right? Go through that. Right? How to evaluate the mock. There's a detailed video of 2, 3, 4 videos on how to analyze a mock. Again, analyze a mock to fill learning gaps, to fill strategy gaps, and to fill kind of planning execution gaps. So you get burnt out, you get tired, you get fatigued. Are you glossing over detail? All of those fine points you have to keep in mind. But the most important thing that you work on is question selection. And so again, go through that video. It's a beautiful couple of videos on how to analyze a mock. But if you're getting 50 now, there's every chance that you can go climb all the way up to 80. It'll go. Have faith. Until when do you suggest to take a chapter-wise approach to quants? How do I frame this? Your mocks are going to become more and more important from now on. Right? Mock will tell you what funda to fill, where to build speed. You take mock number 11, you've taken that. You look at pipes and cisterns questions, you're the absolute queen of pipes and cisterns. But that day you freeze, it doesn't work. And then you come and see the solution, it is actually straightforward. You missed it. You know the funda, but it's not automatic in your head. You take up pipes and cisterns question, practice test, do 10 questions, your speed will come back. You've learned, you see, look at a geometry question, you're very comfortable with geometry, you try that question, it uses angle bisector theorem, and you have no idea what angle bisector theorem is. You have a funda gap, go and look at that section, but while you're at it, learn about basic proportionality theorem, angle bisector theorem, alternate segment theorem, tangent secant theorem, and two other things that you can roll in. Revisit the theory, you have a funda gap that has been bridged. The chapter-wise approach to quants will go into funda gap filling and speed filling based on what your mocks are telling you. You prepare and then mocks add some flavor now. You hit mocks and mocks fill your gap, say a month from now. Able to solve DILR questions in leisure time but cannot crack it during exam. Couple of things. Very often we overestimate how much we can do in leisure time. There has not been a single cat that I've come out of where I felt I've done to my best version. I'll always come back and I thought those two quant questions I could have done. This puzzle is so simple. Our mind tends to put everything under simple once the pressure is on. It's good. Our mind has to be delusional. Delulu is a solulu. Right? So it's good. It's good. Otherwise, what is it there? Right? So it is good. But you have to understand that our estimation of how many questions we could have solved typically tends to overstate things. You look at a quant paper and say, all of these questions I've done in 2 minutes, there's 14 questions, only 28 minutes. Those three also I could have done 3 minutes, 37 minutes. With 3 minutes to spare, I could have done 17 questions, all correct. This is the best case scenario of best case scenarios. It cannot happen. Right? So leisure time estimation is typically too high. So don't worry, don't be driven by it. So, yeah, that's a good anchor point. So I can do this. The confidence comes from there. But don't think that's a real benchmark. That's a fake benchmark. Our mind is conning us in a good way, but it's still conning us. During the exam pressure, your decision making has to be better. You need to have belief that this can be done without going mad. So you have to work on that consciously. But the more mocks you take, the better the gap will get bridged automatically as well. I've given 6 mocks. In these 6 mocks, I'm able to solve only one DILR set, and sometimes not even a single set. Not even a single set is not great. One is good. Lots of times, mocks are slightly tougher than CAT. 2024 DILR was simple. Till 2023, the 4 years before that, one LRDI set near 90th percentile. And so, if you keep continuing to do the same things, if it becomes 1.5 sets, you're knocking at 97, 96 percentile. So don't dramatically change anything. Keep it at 6 marks, just only 6 marks. Will you provide any short notes having all formula entries? We give a book, but I don't really believe in it. Formulae have to be internalized. Good to consolidate, but you have to consolidate in your style, your rhythm. Thank you. I don't believe in having a bunch of shortcuts. That really works. I'm feeling doubtful how to get good marks and mocks since I'm not able to enough time for preparation as I'm working. Belief, all is well. Fake it till you make it. You tell yourself, look, on my day, I can read 2.5 passages and attempt verbal questions, VA questions, 6 of them. So 14 questions in verbal. I get 3-4 wrong. I can still get 30 marks. That's enough. Nice. LRDI, one puzzle, so I'll solve. Maybe another half I'll solve. 8 questions, 24 marks. Brilliant. Quant, I can do maximum 6 or 7. Make it 7, 21. I'm up to 75 marks. Way more than 90 to 93 percentile. Bunch of things open up. Con yourself into believing that, hey, this is possible. Not that this will happen or this is likely, but this is possible. I have a chance for this. That's all you need. Chance ko pakdo and keep turning up. It's sufficient to just practice from mocks and previous questions after a while. You have finished syllabus, this is enough. Go back and fill the gaps if your mock is telling you to. If you've forgotten some basic funda, that means you need to reinforce that funda. What is the best way to structure revision session weekly without wasting a ton of time on it? For me, when I'm the freshest, learning new fundas work. When I'm dull, then comfort zone works. Quant is my comfort zone. So when I'm dull, I'm tired, I'll pick up some already known topic in quant and rush through, do 15, 20 questions so that I can do them. वो count में आ जाएगा time, right? When I'm not fully, I don't have my game face on, I'll do leisure reading. Right? Structure revision session, you have to have a target for doing this many verb RCs and this many LRDIs every week. You have to hit them. And you have to have a revision schedule for quant, way more important than having a learning schedule for quant. Put that schedule, keep ticking boxes. Let's say percentages, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest. The percentages based topics, 3 of them, I'm going to knock them off this week. Ratios, mixtures, averages, next week. Speed time, races, pipe systems, work time, week after that. Put topics that are contiguous in a bucket and end of this. I'm a GEM candidate. My preparation level is medium, but I'm very good at quant and LRDI, average at VARC. Aim is to achieve above 99.9. What should be my strategy now to achieve this? If you're targeting that high, then you need to have be good at all 3 sections. You cannot leave anything to chance. If you're very good at quant and DILR, then you should be saying I'll get 30, 35 marks in LRDI and probably 45 marks in quant. These 2 need to take me beyond 80, 85. And then VARC does the remaining. If you're super confident, your quant should be 50, LRDI should be nearly 40. 90 in these 2 should set the bar very high. That means you cannot get anything wrong. That ambitious and your accuracy level should be sky high. Be absolutely anal on accuracy. Be super harsh on yourself if you miss some detail. Accuracy is the ball game. Mock score fluctuate like crazy. That means you're trying to do faster than you can. Read faster, solve faster, multiply faster, compute faster, select faster, decide faster. Calm down. You should have a sense of calm within the intensity. Sometimes when I say work intensely, people work in a frenzy. I want you to be intense but calm. हो जाएगा. Hard to find momentum and hold on to for the duration of the mock. हो जाएगा. 2 घंटा is a long time. It's also short enough time for you to train your mind to be switched on. Lots of times when you're doing a mock, your mind goes for a walk to drag it back. Initially, it will happen 6 to 8 times during the 2 hours, and each time it will be 1 minute. Then you'll wake up. You need to be looking at this question. My mind was thinking about whole something else. It will become less frequent and it will take less time to bring back. So if you wander only twice the 2 hour session, each time you lose only half a minute, you're good. Oopsie. Lovely. I'm going to go back to the session. I'm going to take questions from here. Make my face bigger. Check out whether YouTube is saying that. I'm going to come back to this question later on. Lovely. So I'm going to take a few questions from YouTube. If time permits, we'll answer those last 2 questions there. Lovely. I've answered quite a few questions. I said 25 minutes. We've answered for more than 25 minutes. A bunch of those questions we've covered already. Let me answer some questions from comments here. Sir, answering questions prepared, questions gathered previously or from the live chat? So far, not live chat. From here on in live chat. From answer questions from Bijuna Saraswati. And Tarun, I'm able to score 50 plus in actual CAT paper. That's the real benchmark. Your actual CAT papers are most representative, most likely close to what CAT is going to be. Atarf Shirke, I'm very bad at number systems and PMC. Can I skip that? Yes, definitely. Skippable. Looking at questions. Sir, rocking the Gen Z terms at the future 100%. And I think that comes from Delulu's the Solulu. I'm working with a lot of guys with Gen Z. I have 2 kids, remember that. not just Gen Z. I'm slightly abreast with Gen Alpha. I recently had a quiz at my building that I also conducted a quiz on these terms. So the web helps a lot, but having kids definitely helps. How do I increase my speed in quant? I have time, I can actually solve all questions. That is good as a starting point. In 40 minutes, I'm able to attempt only 8 to 10. 8 to 10 is brilliant. Focus on question selection, focus on accuracy, do lots of practice, speed will go up. 10 questions, if it goes to 14, you're flying. You're flying. What's your method for building DLR intuition from scratch? Oh, brilliant question. Very tough question. Not an easy one to answer. For me, sometimes I look at an LRDI set and I feel like, look, am I cracking the crux of it? Am I going for the juggler? Am I looking at the constraint to look at for unlocking it? If I'm not, that is what I want to train. Or I want to understand, look, when I don't have this. I'll leave that and go to the other sides. And so, for me, the crucial part about LRDI is having an understanding of, am I getting this or not? This is in my zone or not? If not, then I leave it. I can still hang in there, but I don't have to spend 20 minutes and then break down. So I look at solutions, I look at the way I approach it, and then I'll do an analysis on, okay, the solution is just my approach tweaked a little bit. Another day I've got it, or it's a whole something different. I should simply have not gone like this. Then that thinking is sufficient to build intuition. I feel fatigue even starting DILR prep, but get good scores in quant mocks. How to get internal motivation? Internal motivation hota kya? So turn up. Look at the previous year questions in 2017, 18, 19. Tell yourself, I'll hang in here and solve. Where genius doesn't help, grit helps. So you say, look, I'll grind through this. I'll put fight and turn up. That is enough. You aiming for one more 100%, aim karne mein kya jata hai? I'm having a go at the exam, I'll try to get the highest possible score that I can get. Having gotten 100% relevant, obviously, so I have that belief that ho bhi sakta. I have 2 gap years, but for the past 1 year, I've been doing work. I'm preparing for 25 CAT. Please let me know how do I compensate for my gap years. UV Naveen ko bhul jao bilkul hi gap year hai, jo bhi hai, forget about it. You focus on cracking CAT. Once you get a seat on the table, you'll have to explain those 2 gap years well. Was it a health issue? Was it UPSC? Was it being laid off? Was it something else? That we'll worry about in February. Focus on CAT prep now. I'm about to start my 3rd year engineering. Where do I start? I feel so lost. Most of the videos are in Hindi. हम तो हिंदी में बहुत कम videos करते हैं. So look at the 2IM videos. Almost all of them are in English. The teaching videos. Learn from fundamentals, read a lot. You have lots of time, nearly 15, 16 months to prepare for the exam. Lots of time you have. Forget about other variables. Build brick by brick. You've got time to practice. You always knew Hindi or learned it once you got into IIM? I'm aware you're from TN. My father was in a banking job. He worked with Union Bank of India. I did my class 4 and class 5 in Bombay. And I come from a generation where the other thing that you did, apart from your school, was Hindi exam. Pratmik, Madhyama, Rashtra Bhasha, Praveshika, Visharat Purva, Visharat Uttara, Praveen Purva. I think there are 8 exams that you need to clear. I think I scrambled and did it like 6 of them. So I know the textbook bookish Hindi thing because I learned that. Because I spent a couple of years in Mumbai, I had spoken Hindi on a day-to-day basis for a year and a bit. And then I spent 6 years in hostels. I spent a year in UP. I was posted in Lucknow. So, mixture of things. Some said to alien, is it even possible to reach a point where 80% look familiar? They don't need to look familiar. In fact, I'm a big fan of sets that look impossibly tough at step 1. I leave it there. I get irritated in those delicious looking sets that con me, that lull me into thinking and then I get beaten up by them. And so sets that look very tough, nice. Sets that look easy and are easy, nice. That look tough but are easy, I don't know, I'm leaving them. That look easy but are tough, those are the worst. Always talked about being strong in fundamentals. How should I do it? Learn the whys, not just the hows. Test of divisibility by 4. Check the last two digits. Why does it work? Test of divisibility by 9. Add all the digits up. Why does it work? Why is it enough to add all the digits? Such a powerful rule. Why does the rule work? And so, in everything, learn to gravitate by asking, why does this work? And not, how is this done? Feed your curiosity. Read more for the heck of it. Can I self-study this till this CAT exam and buy the 2026 course? 2026 course is already there, boss. So you can buy the 2026 course and wing it for this CAT and start afresh next time. 2026 CAT course is available to him. Abhishek will be wild if he gets to know that 2026 course is not seen on the portal. It's there. MBA students are not getting any job and many founders are calling MBA redundant. Boss, ek baat sun lo. I'm a founder. Founders know nothing. The funded founders of India as a community are living in cocoons. They raise capital. They've not really put fight to build their businesses. They live in one Excel sheet world, PowerPoint world. They frequently talk nonsense. So MBA from a good college is a powerful signal that you're sharp. MBAs don't get jobs because about 15 to 20% of graduates from IIM Trichy and IIM Udaipur and IIM Ranchi are not bringing enough to the table. For us, for entrepreneurs like me, founders like me, for business owners like me, to be happy paying them 20 lakhs per annum, which they seem to want. I can get extraordinarily good resources, committed, capable, tuned to the ways of the world, willing to learn, ready to bust their ass building their capability and this organization at 60% that price. A lot of graduates in these schools are not getting placed because what they bring to the table and their expectation of their salary is a mismatch. If you prepare really well for CAT, you'll equip yourself to bridge that gap. Bijuna Saraswati, I'm super weak in quant. Would coming to the coaching center in Chennai, you can come book a slot with one of our teachers. Come get the doubts clarified. Of course, if you're our student, then give us a call and turn up here, either at our office or at our centers. We'll try our best to answer the questions. Subhadev Pandian, greetings. Revision for Quant or LRDI even, would you recommend we redo the questions we've already attempted? Lots of guys like that. I somehow feel that redoing the questions, I don't feel like I've revisited the topic. It's only a psychological thing. If I take a new question and go through the same neural pathway but with different context, I feel like this. If I get it right, yeah, I've learned something. If I'm going over the same thing, I don't know whether I'm just doing it from memory or I'm doing it because I've got a sounder grasp. For me, I get the feeling of having revised it. The content is new. Being a BCom graduate, Yuvashri, Balu, Hemakwar, BCom, GCom से फर्क नहीं पड़ता. BA literature graduate, psychology graduate, doctor, lawyer, anyone can crack CAT really well. Anyone can crack CAT Quant really well. And so go for it. Don't tell yourself that you're on a back foot. Just want to focus on one section till this exam ends and build a strong basic. Which section I should go for? No. Go for two. Learn Quant because there's a lot of syllabus in it. And read a lot because reading habit pays off. Is it mandatory to do any course or certification? कोई जरूरत नहीं है. So answer question from Vijay Prakash Raj D. Don't worry about getting certification. They are individually and collectively, they don't add much to you. Kishore Kumar, why are you not taking offline centers classes at RDI center? I have navigated more towards online classes and online content building. I have a wonderful team of teachers. Quite a few of them get spectacular feedback and engage beautifully with students and classrooms. And for the first time in my life, I'm very confident about the quality of teaching, even when I'm not stepping into the classroom. Long story short, very happy with the guys who are taking classes at RIR and Ananga, that I'm not worried and turning up and trying to do their job. It'd be like undermining them. They're delivering fantastically. Tanmay Dattani, I gave my first mock today and gotten 39%. First mock is for, I say khilne ke liye. So you just playing. Forget about it. Forget about the percentile score, ranking, mark, nothing. Analyze to know whether your fundas are clear, whether you had stamina, whether you had intensity. Forget about score. Madurai, Bijuna Saraswati, Madurai is not on the anvil for us. Coimbatore or Bangalore are going to be our next place where we want to go to. Madurai is, we don't have a natural base in Madurai. Online is everything. Nikhil Khatri, my preparation began last week considering the vast syllabus and the limited time. I'm truly grateful to your guidance on how to approach it. Lots of mocks, daily reading, narrowing the syllabus for Quant, previous year questions for LRDI. Those are the themes. During VARC mock, I feel drained and feel just to end the mock. Oh, that's up for time. I'll tell you something that my captain told me when I was playing football. I was a midfielder. I joined college, and I was creative, and I had football IQ and all that. And I had decent skills, but my stamina was the pits. I wouldn't last games. Right? So he was a good athlete, and he would keep telling me, up and down. You're a midfielder. You don't have a choice. You have to run up and down, up and down. And then he said, bend down, take 3 deep breaths, calm your mind, get back to running. So between one section and another, take 3 deep breaths and say, I've got this. Cheat your mind, get back to the game. For VRC and DILR are PYQs enough. For LRDI, PYQs is the anchor point. For VRC, reading is important, and then PYQs and practice. One day I want to crack CAT, next day I'm lost again. I'm placed with the 15 LPA job after CSC, so I feel it's not worth to do MBA from anywhere. That's correct. 15 lakhs per annum, you cannot join a college rank 35. But a college ranked in top 15 can still turbocharge your career. You're ambitious, you've got to turn up. You get into IIM Ahmedabad, then you've got to say, how can I get a job with Goldman Sachs? You cannot rest on your laurels, not when you're 22. I'm 45, dude. I want to go and do really well in CAT. You cannot say, abhi ho gaya, acha to koi to mil gaya, to main to mil gaya. Abhi kya fight maru main? Nonsense. So you have to fly the flag high. We all yank and scream at our Olympic athletes if they come fourth. And remember, India got a lot of fourth position finishes in last Olympic. We were all thoroughly pissed. इतना बड़ा population में सब पे fourth आ रहा है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Fourth में क्या है? Fourth in the world is a freaking force of nature performance. But we are all disappointed. So good, but turn up. Why are you too scared to prepare? Preparation में क्या रहता है? So you prepare, you turn up, you get 95th percentile. Who's going to judge you? You'll judge yourself 10 years from now if you didn't turn up. Other people who judge you for getting a score after you put for preparation, you look at them and say, look, I turned up, I gave it a go, what's your problem? Or you don't look at them, you don't say any of this, you carry on. Gurvan Singh, I'm starting my prep now. Will arithmetic and algebra suffice? Oh, definitely. Definitely. You get 94, 95, yes. Daily reading, yes. Tanmay Dattani, are 4 to 5 hours in a day enough? Yeah. उससे ज़्यादा तो मुश्किल है. Concentration lapses हो जाएंगे. How to divide time, Jatin? 1 mock per week, 1 hour of reading per week, 1 LRDI set per week, 1 RC passage per week. Topics covered in Quant with ample time given for revision. Gurvan Singh, DILR, will PYQ suffice? I don't know whether it will suffice, but it has to be anchored around PYQ. A giant chunk of your preparation is anchored around previous year questions. Anil Kichar, I'm from agricultural background, Hindi medium. Please suggest DILR and VARC approach. VRC के लिए पढ़ते रहो, books पढ़ो, novels पढ़ो, magazines पढ़ो, articles पढ़ो. And I know that reading will be very difficult. So जितना how easy it is for me to read 5 passages and for how difficult it is for someone who's come from vernacular medium, Hindi or Tamil or Telugu, is miles apart. engaging with content is a drag. I have read passages in Hindi and Tamil, और मेरे को 60% of मेरा bandwidth वो जोड़ के just reading में फटीग आ जाता है. The deeper understanding के लिए mind में bandwidth नहीं रहता. Which is the act of reading is tiring, but there isn't much choice to super fight keep reading. Right? Purva 85, 86, 8.52 are all good. Are all good. You can get 99 percentile. Have a clear put a disciplined plan. Stick to it. 99 percentile के लिए you need to get 90 marks out of 208, which is less than half. 208 marks the total. Half of that is 104. You get half of that is 99.5, 99.6. You get 90. It's 42, 43%. हो जाएगा. Our mock weekly has less arithmetic questions, more algebra functions, and everything else. Typically, I don't want to give away secrets for our mock, but none of our mocks is wildly away. I know. I count the mock questions. I won't let a mock go by with fewer than n questions in arithmetic. N is a number I'm not sharing now. And more than n questions in each section. I do have variants in this because I want to surprise students with an algebra heavy paper and a geometry heavy paper. Right? But they are never wildly off the mark. If you hang in there next 2-3 mocks में एक बार हो जाएगा कि there will be lots of arithmetic questions. Gurvan Singh, I want Blackie only. हो जाएगा यार. Keep preparing. Don't be so driven by an end outcome target. Turn up and prepare. It will happen. Naveen, you're from a medical background. If you've studied, you know how to grit through. You know what uncertainty is. Keep your head up. Keep preparing. Wonderful, guys. I feel like we have covered the ground on this. We've left a couple of questions here. I've recently started preparation for CAT, and I'm eager to make most of the time available. I'm saying the vast syllabus in limited time. We have covered this. Starting your preparation now, like in the last week of July, how to prepare. This also we have covered. This also we have covered. Right. So just a very quick recap. Your weekly target should be 1 mock. Your daily target should be 1 hour of reading, 1 RC passage, 1 LRDI passage. Your quant covering of syllabus should be anchored around arithmetic, then algebra, then anything else. Your LRDI should be anchored around previous year questions. You should make sure that you see all previous year questions, all LRDI, all slots, all years from 2020 to 24 for sure. I'll go to the extent of saying add 2017, 18, 19 also within that. Previous year questions is a mothership for LRDI. Keep it in mind. Lovely. We've covered all the questions. We've done one prepared thing. We've done 20-25 minutes, half an hour of taking questions from here as well. Good way to spend a Saturday evening. I'm glad that many of you have said, look, up to my Saturday evening we'll spend thinking about CAT preparation, not watching a movie or going off to play or having something to eat. Good, you're committed on this journey. Take your mocks. Make sure you read a lot, learn from Pandas. We will come back here. We'll probably do another session in August, one in September, probably 2 in October, 1 in November, because we'll amp up when we go closer to the exam. Best wishes to all of you. Many thanks to Abhishek as ever for putting together the whole thing. Best wishes, guys. Thank you. And please do subscribe to the channel and hit like on this video. I keep forgetting that. So many times I hear channel saying like, subscribe, and press the bell icon and promote and whatever not. People say it very nicely. But please hit like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you've not. Chirag Jain, Nandri sir, Nandri. Lovely. All the best.